All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome, Rabid here, and we are in a sea of red. Things are looking pretty darn rough. So, right here, we have an article at Cointelegraph stating retail investors retreat to 98.5K. Five things to know in Bitcoin this week. So, we have Bitcoin dropped another 2% to start November as network data warned of a potential BTC price dip below the 100,000K support level. So they're thinking we might drop below 100K. That is, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but the bull run may be over. It may come back. We have no idea. But based on crypto cycles, October is supposed to be the peak, and then we're moving into a bear after that. It's done the same thing every 4 years, 1 month sooner. 2017 was in December, 2021 was in November, and then now 2025 was the peak in October. So are we moving into a bear market, or are we going to continue to see some gains after this pullback? That part is still up in the air because we have no idea what's actually going to happen, but we're going to continue on and move on from here. So number one, Bitcoin price action gives bulls a grim sense of deja vu as weekend gains evaporate and downside liquidity grows. We have November seasonality calls for serious BTC price gains, but so far there is no sign of relief. Now hold up. I want to touch up on the November seasonality. Where does it say that it's supposed to go up? Where's the analytics for that? Because if they're basing it off last year, then they also got to go to the following year and kind of go over what I look at as the 4-year cycle and what's been going on. So yeah, in 2021, last cycle, not last year, but last cycle, we could see that that's when Bitcoin peaked, was November. But if you actually go to 2017, the peak happened in December. You can see the 12th month, 18th day. December 18th was the peak of Bitcoin. And then 4 years later, we can see in 2021, yeah, November happened, but it's been 1 month sooner from December to November, and now this year, possibly October, which is another month sooner. We had our earlier pumps happen a month sooner as well in the early stages. So it is looking like we have a possible 1 month sooner each type of situation. So that November thing is null and void. That is based off last cycle, but if you bring more data into the picture, it is happening 1 month sooner. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. And again, I don't know if this is actually how it's going to play out. I definitely hope it's not, but I guess time will have to tell. U.S.-China trade deal hopes are sustaining stocks while crypto fails to join the party as Fed rate cut nerves return. And then we got institutional demand reaches 7-month lows compared with the newly mined BTC supply. And Bitcoin retail investors are in retreat as data suggests that 110,000 prices may be unsustainable due to low network activity. All right, guys, so let's take a look at some of the major issues that seem to be going on here. So Bitcoin trader sees difficult week. It's definitely looking like a difficult week. Bitcoin fell as soon as the daily close was completed, returning to 107,000. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed BTC USD erasing the entire weekend's gains after traders warmed over its Sunday pump. I didn't see the warning. Did you guys? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, you can't really believe warnings here and there because we have no idea what's going on. In all honesty, it looks like this could be one of the most difficult trading weeks of Q4. Trader Crypto Nuvo, I'm not sure how to say that, but maybe you guys do, forecast in the thread on X. That makes me think we might be in a range-bound environment. Therefore, I should be aware of a potential range lows retest. Lows and retests, those are two terms you don't really want to hear. They're retesting some lows. And if the low tests don't hold up, obviously it's going to continue to fall. That's some bad news. We don't want that to happen. Anyway, so we noted that those lows had key confluence with the 50-week exponential moving average EMA at $101,150, increasing their odds as a bottom target. Price revisited the area on Binance during its snap crush from all-time highs of 126,200 in October. Now, Binance is also dealing with their own set of issues, as some people are rumoring it as possibly the next FTX, as they did have depegging and stuff happen that one time when everything had that major crash there a week or two ago. So there's a lot going on with Binance as well moving forward. If you guys have any thoughts on that situation with Binance? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think Binance could possibly fall? That'll be an interesting time for sure. It's a very solid support, so we will see a very aggressive bounce from there, he continued. So, that's some positive news, I guess. Others, including trader Dan Crypto Trades, prioritize exchange order book liquidity for key nearby price targets. Two big liquidity levels had built up in the short term during the weekend range, he told X followers. Price took out, let's just scroll down here so you can kind of see what's going on here as well. Price took out the lower bound that was sitting at 108.5K. There's still a decent cluster around 112K when zooming out. The 105 to 106K and 117K levels are worth looking at. So I'm not 100% familiar with how all these terms play out. It's probably just basic trading stuff, which it is. But again, I'm a miner. I'm just a dumb miner. I'm not a trader. All I know is I want my bags to go higher so I can continue mining and not mine at a loss, because if you are, then obviously we got to shut stuff off, and then network security and stuff does drop. So that's how it works on the mining aspect of things. And then we have here trader and analyst Mark Collin warned that liquidity lower down could prove too tempting. Now this sounds like bad news. We got a little bit of okay news up top, and now we're getting to like worse news. So I don't want to hear this, but it's something we got to go through. BTC looks weak, and that lower liquidity slice is calling. But do we get one last push up before we see deeper pullback in the coming days/weeks? So he's pretty much saying what we've been saying, what I've been saying for a while is, no, we could possibly be in the bear market now. It could be over based on like the cycles. October, 1 month sooner each time. October was probably the peak, and we're just moving down from here. Hopefully that's not the case, but I guess time will tell. Well, that's kind of what he's saying here, is we might get one more push up, possibly. Nothing about any new all-time highs or nothing. So kind of like what people call the dead cat bounce. But from there, we're going to keep seeing pullbacks possibly. But again, not financial advice. I have no idea really what's going on here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the whole market down in the comment section. Here's another major part going on is Bitcoin retail investors are in retreat, which means retracting. They're pulling out, guys, and that's not good. Bitcoin retail investors have run for cover ever since the price dipped nearly 20% from all-time highs in October. This is the visibility from the decline in active BTC addresses, as reported by research from on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant. At the beginning of November 2024, active addresses were around 1.18 million, while as of October 30th, 2025, they stand at 872,000, representing a 26.1% decrease. Contributor Camelo Elman wrote in a quick take blog post over the weekend, Alban directly linked recent price action, which sparked multiple mass liquidation events, to retail's retreat. The absence of retail investors limits visible network activity and delays the natural end of a market cycle, he concluded. So we're starting to hear possible natural ends of market cycles, which is something, again, I've been pointing out for quite some time, guys. So I don't know. Again, I'm just a dumb miner. What do I know? I'm not a trader, and I don't know exactly how this works, but all I follow is cycles, 4-year cycles to be exact, and the long term of everything. And it looks like we are coming to that end. Fellow contributor Palin, I went further, suggesting that the Bitcoin network has diverged too far from price. Metcalfe's law, she said, which measures fair price relative to network propagation, supports that theory. When the NVM radio sharply rises above 1 and especially above 2, the prices historically tended to pull back afterward, as QuickTake Post explained. The current value of 2.97 suggests that the network valuation is well above the historical average, indicating that Bitcoin is currently trading in an overvalued zone relative to its network size. Very interesting. These people are calling it overvalued. And remember, we heard like in the bear market when it was coming in, a lot of people were predicting 200,000, 250,000 for a peak. And, obviously you always have those 500,000 and $1 million people that we're not getting anywhere near those levels, guys. No, we're not. I suggested that the BTC price could drop as low as 98,500 next as a result of Metcalfe-based saturation. So under 100K, we could see very soon. That's going to be very interesting, and that's just going to wreck a lot of people's bags if that happens, because we're seeing everything kind of fall right now. So what are your thoughts and opinions on this whole network situation right now and prices coming in? I will leave a link if you want to check out this whole story down below. We went through the major things here, but there's still a lot more going on. So what do you guys think is going on with this market? Is it over? Is it going to come back? Do we just hodl? Like, I have no idea, guys, but things are in turmoil right now. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.